Hey everybody, we are going to read about Walter the farting dog, but I want to introduce you to my dog. This is Remy. Remy, he is super excited to be up and held. Hi Remy. Remy is a Chihuahua. He's what's called a deer Chihuahua. He is about 7 pounds. He's little. He's a good doggy. He's less of a farting dog and more of a peeing dog. He gets super excited. He wants to pee everywhere. But if we feed him anything besides his dog food, he is a stinky farting dog. He ate a little bit of chicken the other day, and you would have sworn a grown man had just passed gas next to us. It was so super duper stinky. But yep, that's my baby Remy. Alright, so here's our story. It's Walter the Farting Dog. That's the title of the story right there. By William Kotzwinkle and Glen Murray. Those are the two who came up with the story. It's illustrated by Audrey Colman. There are actually a lot of different Walter the Farting Dog stories. This one was so popular that they made a whole series out of it. So let's see what happens with Walter. Is there end pages? Oh, look, poor Walter. It says, for everyone who ever felt misunderstood or misjudged. Walter, the farting dog. And look, there he is, passing gas. Betty and Billy brought Walter home from the dog pound. Nobody wanted him, said Billy. But we love him, said Betty. Well, he smells awful, said their mother. I think you better give him a bath. There he is. Walter's a pretty big dog. And look, they have a cat too. They gave him a bath. Mother walked in and said, he still smells awful. And that's when they got the first clue. The telltale bubbles in the water. He's probably just a little nervous, said Mother hopefully. His stomach must be upset. But Walter's stomach wasn't upset. Walter's stomach was fine. He felt perfectly normal. He just farted a lot. Say that out. He did it when he bathed. He did it when he played with Betty and Billy. He did it when he walked around the house. He did it in the dining room. He did it in the kitchen. And he did it in his sleep. Look at all that gas. It's just stinking up the whole house. That dog farts morning, noon, and night, said Father. He can't help it, Daddy, said Betty and Billy. They didn't mind Walter's farts. So what if he farts, Billy said to Betty, when they were alone in their room with Walter. Betty agreed. Walter agreed, too. He sat there, looking innocently around, farting. Take him to the vet, said Father. I don't think Dad did. The father likes all that fart. Look at that cat. Where's the cat? He's sitting on Dad's head. Farting, said the vet, or rectal flatulence, as we say in the medical profession, and prescribed a change in diet. They gave Walter every kind of dog food. He farted. They tried him on cat food. They gave him hot dogs, hamburgers, and lettuce and tomato sandwiches. They gave him fried chicken. They gave him rabbit food. They made him a vegetarian. No matter what that dog eats, he turns it into farts!" roared Father. Walter got the blame for everyone else's farts, too. If Uncle Irv, there he is, lets one slip, he just went and stood near Walter. All he had to do was say, "Walter!" and everyone looked at poor Walter. "He has to go back to the pound," said Father. "No, Daddy, please," begged Betty and Billy. "Don't send Walter away." "He goes tomorrow," said Father. They pleaded, and Walter farted. It was all over. That night, Betty and Billy cried in their beds, and Walter looked at them unhappily. "Oh, Walter," said Betty, "you have got to stop farting." "Because Father is going to send you back to the pound tomorrow," said Billy. "Aw, look, they're so sad." Walter looks sad too. Walter knew how serious the situation was. He'd never see Betty and Billy again. He resolved to hold in his farts forever. When Betty and Billy fell asleep, he walked down to the kitchen to see if there was anything around to eat. He managed to open the cupboard door with his nose and found the 25-pound bag of low-fart dog biscuits the veterinarian had prescribed for him, which made him fart more. Even though he knew they made him fart more, he couldn't resist. He ate the entire bag. "Very tasty," said Walter to himself. Uh-oh. He ate all that. I wonder what's going to happen now. And then he went and laid down on the sofa. Oh, look at his tummy. It's huge. A gigantic gas bubble began to build inside him. "This is going to be trouble," he said to himself nervously. He was afraid of what might happen if he let it go. He thought maybe that house would explode, so he kept it in. Uh-oh. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was torture. But he'd resolved never to fart again. His future depended on it. As he lay there with his tail wrapped tightly between his legs, he heard a noise at the window. I wonder who it was. He watched it open slowly. A pair of burglars came through. They dropped silently into the kitchen. "Watch out for the dog," said one of the burglars. "He won't bite," said the other. "He's a wimp." Walter might have bitten them, except he was so filled with gas he couldn't move. They tied a rag around his snout so he couldn't bark. "Okay," whispered the first burglar. "Let's clear the place out." They took everything they could get their hands on. Walter wanted to stop them, but he was having unbearable gas pains. He rolled on his back and moved his paws in the air. He gnashed his teeth. "We've got it all," said the second burglar. "Let's go." Uh-oh. They were taking everybody's stuff. That's when Walter let it fly. It was the worst fart of his life. It made a tremendous noise and shot him across the room. A hideous cloud filled the air. The burglars clutched their throats, unable to breathe. With tears in their eyes, they raced for the window. They tried to grab their bag with all the valuables in it, but their arms were too weak. "Let's get out of here." Uh-oh. They jumped out the window and ran up the block. Choking and gasping for air, still blinded by Walter's attack, they stepped out into the headlights. of an approaching police car. "Hold it right there," said the policeman. When father and mother came down in the morning, they found the open window, and they saw the bag with their valuables in it, and Walter was sitting beside it. He still had the rag tied around his snout. He'd have to say he looked heroic. "He saved the silverware," cried mother. "He saved the VCR," cried father. "Good dog, Walter. You're our dog, even if you do fart all the time." And so the family learned to live with Walter, the hero dog. And that's the end of our tale. Look, there he is, with the whole family. He's passing gas into what's this? It looks like a funnel to me. I wonder where it goes. Oh my goodness. That's where it goes. This says Walter's Wonder Park, 100% natural gas powered. Look, the funnel goes all the way over to here. And his farts are powering the train. That's so silly. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story. As always, even though I forget to tell you, check down below. I have put activities for you to do with the story. If you're in my class, please send them to me because the Office of Head Start still wants us to put documentation in, even though we are not seeing you. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I will talk to you later. Bye.